respected and deserve to be loved and deserve to be a good slave and servant. And like one person say, when he saw a man sitting somewhere in a park and he had some box of chocolate, a boy came, he acquired a chocolate. The man gave him the chocolate. The boy looked at the chocolate and he's very happy and he ran away. A second boy saw the same thing. He went, he acquired chocolate. He thanked the man who gave him the chocolate. And he praised him for what he gave, for what he did. And he looked at his chocolate and he ran away. A third boy came, he acquired a chocolate, but he did not run away. He sat next to the man and he started look at him, trying to get his attention, trying to pleasing him. Why? The man is the same, the chocolate is the same. But when we try to discover what is the meaning behind it, we find the first boy, all he worry about the chocolate. He gets worried and he gets happy with what he receives. By this way, his state of love to what he gets. You have another person or another boy. He saw the gift and he recognized it. And he recognized the one who gave the gift. And he wants to show gratitude and thanks to the person who gave the chocolate. By this way, he's happy of two things. He's happy he receives the chocolate, the things he likes, and also is he recognizes the one who gives the chocolate and he shows gratitude and thanks. And the third example is the boy, he is receiving the chocolate, but he did not run away because he recognized the chocolate is not the big gift, but the one who gives the chocolate, he's a giver. He's a distributor of all the chocolate and goods. It's better to sit next to him, show gratitude and thanks. By this way, I do not own the box of chocolate, I own the box of goodness. And not only that, as a show gratitude and thanks to the person, because he discovered the box of chocolate and goodness is nothing compared to the goodness of the being, the man who gives that. And again, we say to Allah the high example, the one who provides all his creation of all the things we have and we like and we desire, and then we still do not look to who is the giver to all this. By this way, we run after what we like and what we get, and we forget who is the giver. Once we recognize who is the giver, it will make a big difference in our life, in our state of heart, and it makes us recognize I better to be a slave and a servant who will love his own creator, the one who shower him with all his goodness.
The torture of the grave.
You see, we go to another style right away. The torture of the grave. You see, a servant, you can have many slave and servant. When you have a bunch of servant and slave to you, you can have an obedient servant, you can have a servant and a slave who love you, for you. You can have a servant, a slave who fear you, and he doesn't want you to punish him. And you have a servant, a slave, he likes the gift, you give it to him, and the way you treat him. And you have a servant and a slave, he's blind of all this and he's running away. All of them is a servant and a slave, but all of them in different status. Like one scholar, he said, you can worship the Creator as a coward, meaning fearing from the torture. Or you can serve and slave or be the slave of the Creator as a merchant who looking after paradise. And you have another slave and servant who are a loving of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Very important. All this is very important to discover where we are. The red one.
Now record.
Okay. Now, what's the following question? What's the following question?
If our grave is tight or if it's open on the day of judgment, how can we move when our body is in a coffin?
Can you repeat this question, please?
If our grave is tight or open on the day of judgment, how can we move when our body is in a coffin? Or how can we run to the judgment place when there are seas?
You see, this is what we call it, question related to the life after death, which is the life of the unseen. Why? Is all reported. Doesn't mean we see it. And sometimes we misunderstand is one thing. Is us as a human being, we very limited. Every day we discover different discovery on earth. Like today, if I tell you, how is the deep sea look like? How many deep seas? You know under the seas is volcano. You know it is very cold. But once you reach a certain area, it's very hot. And they have volcano under the sea. And they have mountains. All these details is amazing. Because these details is we do not see. And because we do not see, we cannot comprehend. Because our state of our life, we cannot comprehend that. Every topic in our life we can see. We are very limited. We look to the sun going down to the shore. I remember when I was young, I was thinking the sun going to the sea. But how the sun going to the sea? It will cool down. What will happen the following day? It's coming back again. And again, when I grow up, my father taught me, no, it's going the other side. I said, I want to see how it goes to another side. But this way you can see, we are very limited, even in the basic knowledge. Where the worm is going? Where the beetles live? A small, tiny creature make us paralyzed. But in the meantime, we want to know all the detail about the unseen. If we cannot discover the power of the Creator in earth, in the front of our eyes, and we cannot comprehend the magnitude of this power, look at the topic of genes, the genetic knowledge now. 50 years ago, 30 years ago, this was not exist. When you look to it now, it becomes like a miracle. Solid state electronic. The microprocessor in a computer, the chip, the one that has a complete computer, over 1 centimeter, now it's almost like half centimeter, you can have a whole computer. A whole computer with everything in it, built in a small and in the hand of the creation. Sometimes we won't comprehend the unseen. Never anybody sees the angel of death. What will happen after death? Nobody came back to tell us. You see the difference between the believer and disbeliever. We have book. First, we have to recognize if this book is really the book of the Creator, and is this the knowledge coming from the Creator and His own Prophet by revelation. Once it is, we take it and we surrender. We surrender and we believe. We are the believer of the unseen. You believe in the Creator. You see physically the Creator? Like one man, he an atheist. He don't believe in God. He went to one scholar, his name is Imam Shafi'i, and he asked him, you Muslims believe in many things, and you cannot see. How you can believe in something you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot comprehend, you cannot touch? How you can believe in something you cannot see? You guys are really crazy. Imam Shafi'i was very silent for a while. He said, excuse me, I have one topic for you. He said, what is it? He asked him, you have a brain? He said, yes. He said, meaning you have intelligence? He said, yes. He said, can you touch your intelligence? He said, no. Can you smell your intelligence? He said, no. Can you see your own brain? He said, no. Can you touch your own brain and see it the way it works? He said, no. He said, in this case, you do not have a brain. He said, no, I have a brain. He said, but in the meantime, you believe 100% you have a brain and you have a power of intellect, but you cannot see, you cannot comprehend, you cannot touch, you cannot smell. What's the difference? If a part inside of you, in your body, and you cannot get all this essence you're looking for, why you cannot believe of the things that's unseen? This is why even in Quran is a verse of the meaning of وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ, in yourself. أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ, you cannot see, you cannot comprehend. Very important. By this way, the topic of the unseen, and a lot of question about the unseen. You see, question about the unseen will never be stopped. Some of it we have the knowledge, some of it we do not have the knowledge. The one we have the knowledge, we explain according to what has been reported by the Prophet and by the Messenger of Allah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Peace and blessing be upon him. Otherwise, we keep quiet because we're not in the stage. By this way, as a Muslim, we are in a state of humble. Humble to whom? To the Creator. We believe what He tells us. We believe in Day of Judgment. We do not see the Day of Judgment. We believe in paradise. We don't ever see the paradise. We believe in hellfire. We believe in angels. We believe in jinn. We believe in a life after death. All this belief, but actually none of it you can comprehend. Look at the galaxy, the topic of galaxy, just the topic of galaxy and orbit. You go out of whack. NASA, the big department of America about the, all kind of